Minecraft movie is a Minecraft movie. We've finally gotten one after so many years of this game being a thing. It's been through development hell for quite some time. Different directors have been attached, like Sean Levy or Rob McElhenney, surprisingly enough. And they've even gone through several writers. Look at the credited writers on this film, and then also their additional literary material section goes on for a bit. You even have some people like John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein on there, the Game Night Dungeons and Dragons guys. They probably could have made a good movie. Finally, though, we have one in the form of a Jared Hess picture. And of course, it follows the adventures of Steve, played by Jack Black. As a child, he yearned for the mines. So one day when he became an adult, he went to a no kids allowed mine and just went in, found two objects and opened a portal, and he's been there for a little bit. But because of some skirmishes he's having with this pig witch villain, voiced by Rachel House, the device for the portal ends up in the real world, separated, portals closed, until it lands in the hands of Henry, played by Sebastian Hansen, who connects it, goes into the world with his sister, played by Emma Myers, Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, played by Jason Momoa, and a real estate agent, Dawn, played by Danielle Brooks, who is also a on-the-road mobile zoo person. They end up in the Minecraft world and meet up with Steve, and then, you know, more Minecraft antics, adventures ensue. That's my best go of it. As I mentioned before, you know, this project has been in a lot of different hands over at Warner's for quite a bit. We finally have the movie now, and look, it has been exploding in popularity at the box office. You know, a lot of people didn't expect it to do as well as it's been doing, but, you know, it's going off. You know, it's already doubled, maybe even tripled by the time this video comes out. It's $150 initial production budget, which is a pretty fantastic sign. There's already talks of them fast-tracking a sequel. It seems to be really popular until you see those fucking videos of all the irony-brained, you know, teens in the theater losing their minds, yelling chicken jockey, yelling all of the meme lines back at the screen, throwing popcorn, TPing the place, bringing a live chicken in at one point, police having to be called, just causing an overall just fucking kerfuffle at so many different theaters, you know? And I don't know if that's actually a true sign of, like, this is a good product. And it's weird because, like, I look at that and I'm like, okay, this is like, you know, people can have a good time, and if you want to shout something back at the screen in unison with everyone, that's one thing. Causing such a fucking stir like this is so odd, and it just seems so weird that we've fallen, seemingly as a society, that we look at that as like, this is acceptable. Think of the fucking theater employees that have to clean up all of the shit that's left behind, right? I guess no one wants to think of them. It's just, you know, not their problem. They don't have to clean it up. They're out. Anyone else who came to see the movie just out of pure curiosity and just wanted a solid experience with it, fuck them, I guess. If they're not in on the memes, if they're not in on the fucking irony-pilled fucking losers in the crowd, then fuck them, I guess. You know, it's just kind of weird to see, because I saw an ad for, like, I think it was like Regal or something like that, promoting a 4DX screening, calling it the chicken jockey screening. Feel free to whoop, clap, yell, however much you like. And it's like, guys, stop encouraging that. You know what I mean? Warner's, of course, has released a statement that's like, we think this movie's very popular because of, you know, the power of creative storytelling and imagination. And it's like, okay, yeah, I know that's what you're saying the movie is about. But no, like, obviously it's not. It's a bunch of people that don't have any sincere feelings for this. They saw it just for a laugh and, you know, are just there to fucking, you know, film themselves participating in an online trend. It's honestly really embarrassing. At my theater, that did not happen, except for one instance where two of the teens behind me yelled chicken jockey in unison. Maybe I was being paranoid, but I thought I saw a flash of a phone at one point in, like, the corner of the theater, so maybe they were trying to record something as well. They did not throw popcorn and everything. They were immediately silent after, which I think is a little more pathetic. Jared Hess, the director of the film, has even tried to encourage it as well, saying, like, I think it's a little ridiculous that the cops are being called. You know, who gets hurt by throwing popcorn? People are just making memories and having a good time. It's funny seeing them on each other's shoulders. I don't think... Okay, quick thing about Jared Hess, because I look very quickly at, like, the Wikipedia, like, development production section of that. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on the troubled production cycle, everything that went on. Obviously not. I'm an outsider in fucking Virginia. But, you know, it said on there, like, he came on board with this project because he was developing something with Legendary, and it didn't pan out. But then, you know, they came back to him like, okay, this isn't working out, but you got anything for Minecraft? And he was just like, maybe. maybe I have a take. He's not a credited writer on this. But as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this movie feels like a joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's like total brain rot. best description of the movie is that it's complete brain rot. You know, like, there's so many points where I'm like, okay, I know they're trying to do a joke here, but it's so, like, offbeat of, like, compared to, like, what a lot of other, like, family films or, like, bigger budgeted movies would try to do for comedy. It's so different and odd in comparison to what they've tried to do before. The storytelling is very choppy. And when I say that, I just want to say really quickly, I give them credit for trying to weave a narrative with a game that, as far as I understand, doesn't really have a plot. It has, like, game elements. You can go on adventures, you can, you know, do different missions, stuff like that. As far as I'm aware, though, and I've never played it, but as far as I know, there's no, like, narrative, you know, it's not like Mario World, you go to, like, different, you know, circles on the map and it's a side-scroller thing. It's not even like an open world. Eventually we're going to build to a bigger narrative. It's just like, there are things here. It's an open world, you know, there are things that you can do. It's kind of an endless thing. We keep patching it or whatever. You can play with friends, different things, survival mode. So I do give them a little bit of credit for, you know, coming up with at least a decent idea for how do you get Steve in there? You know, how do you incorporate certain certain creatures into the world and making it part of this film narrative? I do want to give them some credit for that. And I want to give credit to Jack Black for trying his absolute fucking best. And I sincerely do mean that. He is cranked up to a Jack Black energy that he doesn't really have for anything else, even. You know, even other movies that are, like, actually good. Like, he's, like, dialed up to a fucking 12, you know? And it was kind of fascinating watching him commit so much to this. Even when the movie opens, they give you a very brief, you know, backstory with Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines, and then he got old and hated his office job, so he went back to the No Kids Allowed mine, where the old man that scared him off is still there and seems to be the same age. And, you know, he kind of narrates over it like this, like he's telling the story to the audience, and it's actually, like, very quirky fun in that Jared Hess, almost kind of like Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre kind of way. And I was like, okay, we might have something here. My issue was that I was watching this and I was like, I know that eventually we have to go back to the real world and get Jason Momoa and the kids. But I think a movie could have worked if it was just Jack Black, one-man show Jack Black interacting with the Minecraft world. You know, no, we don't need to rush over his backstory in an opening narration, you know, just let that play out. That probably could have worked out much better. I think that's where, like, my mixed feelings with the opening kind of come from. In general, you know, I think I've talked about this before, narration in movies, unless there's some kind of, like, frame narrative or some kind of reason for it, it's a pet peeve of mine in films. I don't necessarily like that because it's like you're spelling something out to the audience that they could maybe just pick up on, and it seems like you're trying to also distance them from actually, like, living with the character. It's just like, well, let's just catch you up real quick. I'm just going to speak all the development at you. But like I was saying, you know, it has this, like, quirky, offbeat humor vibe to it. So I was like, okay, I can ride with this for a little bit, but then as soon as it cut to the real world and you get the other characters, that's when it was, okay, we're starting to slip a little bit. They still try to have, like, this quirky energy, but it just does not help that almost all of the characters just have, well, I say almost, it's basically characters are saved by the actors. All of the characters don't have any, like, proper motivation or multi dimensions to them. Very basic, very stock stuff. The main kid, Henry, played by Sebastian Henson. I don't want to pick on, you know, any teen child actors too much. Unfortunately, he's not a good fit for, like, a lead, though. The character is just kind of basic, like, he doodles some stuff in his book. He's an imaginative kid. Somehow is also able to build, like, a fucking jetpack out of trash, maybe? Just out of nowhere, and that's not treated as, like, this incredible thing, like, holy fuck, how did you do that, you know? Instead, it's just kind of like, well, it's a thing he did. It's something that anyone could just do, I guess. But he has this imagination, and when he goes to Minecraft world, it's supposed to open up his mind, you know, get more imaginative. They say also this movie is about the power of imagination. That's what Warner said in their statement, right? I can't say that any of this movie is that, you know, imaginative, or that there's that much creativity in the action sequences, or, like, the design, like the stuff that they actually, like, craft or build in this. You know, it's a lot of just basic ass stuff. You know, oh, but it's about the power of creativity. You can really be yourself here and do whatever you want. Okay, in this very quick, rushed hour and a half, you know, mandated probably hour and a half movie, you know, where you can only do so much of that actual exploration and letting creativity fly. Okay, sure. It kind of reminded me as I was watching it, and I talked to a buddy, and we kind of felt the same way. You know, it reminded me of the Lego movie, just in the sense of that movie actually is about, creativity and letting your imagination run wild. And watching that movie as a kid, even now, honestly, my brain goes fucking nuts over like how do they even think to, combine these things, and make all this work. It's crazy. It's such an inspiring movie, you know what I mean? It's not just a kiddie, just for kids Lego movie. Like, it's actually like really touching and inspiring in that way. Really great stuff. And then you have this movie, which is trying to say like we're the exact same way. We're all about that imagination, and it's like I feel fucking nothing. You know what I mean? I'm watching a nothing movie. It's a joke. There are definitely plenty of points where I was laughing, and they were jokes designed, to be laughed at. So I do want to give them some credit for that. But there's also some jokes that feel pretty expected, like, okay, yeah, of course you got to do that. I would say anyone who isn't Jack Black or Jason Momoa in this doesn't really bring a lot to the table as far as like comedic stylings, comedic talent. Like, there's a point, like, sorry, you can't top a scene where they have somehow constructed a way for Jason Momoa to get a jetpack thing, and Jack Black's like, oh no, I don't have one. I gotta jump on Jason Momoa and we gotta fly together. And it starts with him like riding him from behind, and then there's like a hole in the mountainside, and they're like, we gotta get through, we gotta go nose to toes, whatever. And it looks like they're 69ing. Jack Black grabs a handful of Momoa ass. It's like something like that is like, you can't top that. And if you're gonna be the supporting cast to that, you gotta be really bringing your A game. The material's gotta, uplift you too. And there's just nothing. For Danielle Brooks, I feel so bad for her. She was nominated for an Oscar for The Color Purple movie, really good in that. And she's great in Peacemaker, really enjoy. I can't wait to see her come back. And then she has this, like, a really big opportunity to be seen by wider audiences, movie role. And her character is just kind of there to, I don't know, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, she befriends a wolf, but anyone could have done that. Jack Black did that earlier. You know what I mean? Like, they try to use that zoo thing that she has going on. It's like, well, this is, I don't know. I can't fathom what they were thinking. I think, thinking back to Jack Black, Jumanji works so well. I think they're trying to, wrangle something like that. Got 4 people sucked into this world, and then they meet another guy who's been there for a bit. I think they literally just tried to do that. But they were like, well, I don't know if we have enough material for fucking 4. Whatever. Give them this one little thing. Let's give it to that character, and then have that be. Emma Myers, who is a good up-and-coming actress, unfortunately is kind of stuck with, older sister stick in the mud kind of performance. And it's like, yeah, it's like, if you're not Jack Black and Jason Momoa, who are basically just going off, Jared Hess just let them be. And Jason Momoa is a producer on this, so it was probably like, we're just going to come in, have a grand old time. We're going to goof around. Who cares about, like, proper story structure or, a good edit? Everyone else is just kind of left to what's in the script. And the script for them fucking sucks. It's very basic. You don't live in the moment with any of these characters. Everything feels very quick. There's one point where Emma Myers has to apologize to Henry, the main character, Henry, and I don't remember why that is. Like, there was no, like, big argument scene, you know what I mean? Even in the beginning of the film, when they moved to this new town, because, the parents passed away, she's the older sister, she's got to take care of them. They don't live in that moment enough. So any, like, drama that could have happened from a big thing with Henry and his jetpack kind of caused some problems with her at work. They never really come back to that. It's just kind of like, well, that's something we could do. Maybe it was left on the cutting room floor. Who knows? There's one moment where she says something and it causes a brief little rip. It's nothing. It's like they try to insert these faux ass, like, emotional beats where it's like, you lied to me, or you're being mean to me right now, or whatever the fuck, or I don't trust you. And it comes across so insincere because these characters aren't characters. The actors, I'm sure they got paid really well. It's a Minecraft movie, and I'm sure that's probably the motivation for just doing whatever with the humor, because who cares about actual characters or the storytelling? So I'm sure that they all kind of looked at this as like, we're just gonna have fun working with each other and doing a big budget movie, easy paycheck, whatever. I'm sure that is the vibe, because so much of this movie just, it doesn't require a lot of, like, hard work, it would seem, as far as, like, from the acting perspective. Like, Jack Black, it seems like he could do this high energy thing in his sleep, to the point where, yeah, sometimes it does start to wear thin, and Momoa is just kind of, I'm just here, hey, you know what I mean? He's living it up, For as entertaining as they can be in spurts, after a while, it's like, is there anything else to them? Nope. Okay, cool. But they could have had something. That's what I'm saying, though, is that they could have had something. There's definitely the plot potential there, but there's too many characters that don't have anything going on, but they have to, share equal time. You know what I mean? And they don't have enough runtime, it seems, also to focus on these other things. I hate to say that it is like a runtime thing. I don't think that necessarily is the case, but I mean, it's a breezy movie, hour-and-a-half movie. And all these moments that I'm mentioning that could have had like a bit more of like an emotional touch or like a dramatic riff, they go by so quickly, they don't register. So it's like, it at least seems like there could have been more breathing room for this. The villain is nothing. Rachel House, who is a talented actress, unfortunately, like, there's one funny bit with her and like a little knife near the end, which I did chuckle at quite a bit. But the villain itself, like, there's just nothing interesting going on there or with that army or anything. I don't care for the stakes of the Minecraft world. Like, the Minecraft world is occupied by villagers who make weird noises but seem to have no other personality or character. Like, why do I care about this world other than Jack Black likes to build stuff here? That's another thing too, is that the mechanics, they try to incorporate like the gameplay stuff. Punch a tree, you get a little block, you do that. And the way they try to introduce that to the new character, the 4 new characters, feels very quick and just like, once again, part of just the breeze it along, we gotta rush through this, we have a mandate of a runtime here, we're not trying to spend too much time in Minecraft world, but it just feels so quick, and it's a little confusing also. I'm like, okay, you have to, for every single block, you have to literally, like, you have to have those on you. It's not like you can have one and you can just, like, do a motion and reuse it, but that means in order to build what Henry is building at one point, this huge-ass castle of a tower, he has to, like, punch everything in sight, and it's the scene that they have set it in is, like, this skeletons, zombies are coming at them at all angles, we gotta make this quick, but in a quick amount of time, he's able to punch everything in sight and build it. It makes more sense if you're playing a video game and you're able to, because when you're playing a game, you don't necessarily think like, how are they holding all this stuff? It's like, whatever, it's the fucking game, you just have it, right? But when you're watching characters in a movie, in a live action movie, try to do this stuff, it's like, how is this working? Whatever. The visual effects look pretty good when human beings are not involved in the shots, like as far as bringing some of the designs to life. Like, yeah, it looks really good, but there are so many shots where the actors look like they're overlit in front of a green screen environment. It's not a great blend at all. It definitely affects some of the action scenes as well. Like I said, if they focus on just the bigger sweeping visual effects stuff, it looks fine, but then insert a person in there, like the flying sequence that I mentioned where Jack Black and Jason Momoa are 69ing. It's funny, but then it has this horrible like green screen always on them as they fly through the air. It really does start to affect the rest of the movie. The editing is choppy for it too. I feel like there are definitely people out there that are going to see this in like a so bad that it's good kind of way. Like, we're just gonna go in and have a laugh, which is what I was saying before. It seems like a lot of the chicken jockey, theater reactions, it just seems like most of the money that they have made, it seems to be coming from people who don't have like a sincere love for this movie. It's just all, irony, it's memes, it's TikTok clout film us doing the chicken jockey thing or saying I am Steve with Jack Black or whatever. So going back to what I was saying as far as like Jared Hess, I don't think he gives a shit about this movie or ever did. I think, yeah, once that other project fell apart, he was like, well, I can stay employed by Warner's and maybe this is a way I can get funding for another movie or, get my next script immediately greenlit, whatever, with Warner's, have Warner's backing it, whatever. And so he sees all that. So he makes this movie that has these like really offbeat, unexpected jokes, but also has like the worst kind of story structure, the worst, most flat, nothing characters and actors that seem to be struggling under the weight of the dialed up to 12 Jack Black performance. Like, if I saw this movie and my name was attached to it, I would be embarrassed. Honestly, like, I would not want this to be the product that I made. Unless I didn't care, in which case it'd be like, yeah, whatever, And honestly, like, judging by his reaction to the chicken jockey meme online trend reactions, like, he's just kind of like, whatever to it, like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about theater employees. He didn't say that verbatim. I just want to say that. He didn't say that, but that does seem to be the vibe. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, just make some good memories. I don't care. That does seem to be the vibe. Like, yeah, he probably just wants to do something else. Will he ever come back for this proposed Minecraft 2 that they're supposedly developing? I don't know, maybe. He's the one who directed the first movie, but I'm not watching this and thinking this is a Jared Hess film. It has shades of like that Jared Hess-esque Napoleon Dynamite kind of humor to it, but not in full, you know what I mean? It's that weird balance of, like, I'm saying all this stuff where it's like it has these unexpected weird jokes in it, and maybe you're thinking like, oh, well, maybe that makes the movie worth it. It's not throughout. It's not throughout the movie. It just comes up in weird spots. Some of it doesn't even land, you know what I mean? It comes up in weird spots, but they're also trying to blend it with like an actual like family-friendly, big-budget adventure movie. I'm gonna give a Minecraft movie a D+. Look, I do want to give them credit for some of the good things they managed to squeak in. It is not an easy task to weave a narrative through the Minecraft elements here, so, you know, hats off to them for trying. There's some impressive visual effects, transferring that to the big screen. Good music, Mark Mothersbaugh doing it. I was surprised to see his name, but, you know, did a good job with the music. Like I was saying before, like some of the like larger sweeping visual effects action moments, you know, I was fine with. And yeah, I do have to give some credit at least to Jack Black and Jason Momoa actually like really trying with their performances. It would seem like even if they knew their characters are nothing on paper, they're like, well, we can try to save this. But despite those good elements that it has, it just doesn't come together for me because, you know, look, at the end of the day, a lot of the time for me, it comes down to, was the script even decent to begin with? And yeah, it definitely feels like a script that was cut to bits, whether that was actually in the, you know, pre-development, the writing stage, or if that was in post-production. Either way, you know, it doesn't feel like a cohesive narrative. I don't care about our lead characters, like the two, you know, the brother and sister. You know, they just drop you in with like this, you know, family backstory, and it doesn't seem like it weighs on them. It's just kind of nothing. The Jennifer Coolidge villager thing, I started cackling during the mid-credits thing. Spoilers, I started cackling during the mid-credits because Matt Berry started to do the voice, and I love his voice, and I was like, that it's such an abrupt cut. So that part was funny, but I thought it was going to tie back in. I thought Jennifer Coolidge was going to enter the Minecraft world. I was looking forward to that. You know what I mean? I thought the villager would take her back there. Instead, it's just, we have Jennifer Coolidge for some reason. I don't even know how they convinced her to do this, so maybe we have her, you know, date a villager for a couple scenes. It literally, she hits him with the car, like in the trailer, they go to a dinner, and then we don't see him ever again until the mid-credits scene. It's like, why even waste time? Like, okay, going back to the Rush thing, like if you have like this mandate from Warner's, or you just have it in your head, I want to make an hour-and-a-half movie, why would you waste time on this? Dennis the Wolf, they try to do some emotional thing with Jack Black and that, only to forget that that's what they're trying to do. There's more stuff I could talk about, I guess. It's more complex than you expect. Complexly bad. Yeah, man, I wish this could have been fun. Like, I was watching that teaser trailer, and I was like, I would like for this to work out, only because I would like to be surprised by a Minecraft movie. Like, the way that it was Jared Hess making it, and even them calling it a Minecraft movie felt so like, like, they're not calling it the Minecraft movie or simply Minecraft. They're going the extra way to do the oddball a Minecraft movie. Like, it's just like, here it is, it's a Minecraft movie. I thought maybe they had something, and then they didn't. They didn't have shit. Except for Jack Black and Jason Momoa 69ing. That, you know what? Actually, you know what? I take it back. You should go see it just for that scene, and then you can fucking dip. Just leave right after that. I'm sticking by what I said at the start, though, is that you could have just had a movie with Jack Black as Steve, make that whole opening scene just the entire movie, make a narrative out of that, and that could have been something. Nope, we need the cast of characters where everyone in the audience could potentially like them. Like, ooh, Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, I like that guy. Or I like that kid Henry. Oh, I like them. Oh, Dawn, don't mess with Dawn. She's really great. You know, it's part of the corporate cynicism thing, you know. Match your demographics, you know, get them all in. You know, you have people talking. Whatever. Fuck this movie. But if you've seen a Minecraft movie, leave your thoughts in the comments below what you thought of it. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.